Well, just in case you're wondering if the new Democratic Congress will fund a wall along our southern border, we have an answer. The incoming Speaker of the House has cleared it up. No chance, says Nancy Pelosi. Walls don't work, she explains. And more than that, they're wrong, morally wrong. Watch.
Most of us, speaking for myself, consider the wall immoral, ineffective. He also promised Mexico would pay for it. So even if they did, it's immoral still.
Now, if you're familiar with how things work in Washington, you may be wondering, when did morality begin to play such a central role in the legislative process? And the answer is the day that Nancy Pelosi got ordained. Pelosi is now an archbishop in the Church of Progressive Sanctimony. Her spiritual gift, hectoring. Listen to her preach.
What the president did was unconstitutional and indeed, in my view, immoral. It is a moral issue. This is a moral challenge. Immoral, unconstitutional, incompetent, short-sighted, and immoral. Our moral responsibility. We have a moral responsibility to the next generation. It's just a reflection of the weak moral authority.
Weak moral authority. That is not a problem for St. Nancy. Her moral authority is absolute. She is a good person. You, unfortunately, are not. So pay attention as she explains once again, a border wall is immoral. Well, fine. Far be it for us to question the command of an archbishop. We'll take her at her word. God hates walls. But wait, if walls are immoral, what about fences? Obama seemed to like them.
The bill before us will certainly do some good. It will authorize some badly needed funding for better fences and better security along our borders, and that should help stem some of the tide of illegal immigration in this country.
Better fences, says Obama. That sounds immoral. And what about Israel's security wall? It's big and real and very effective. Pelosi supported it, actually. She voted for a resolution defending that wall from UN condemnation. It's confusing. It must have been before her conversion. But now that walls are definitely immoral, a few obvious theological questions arise. What about doors and locks? How about hedges or security systems or airport checkpoints or anything else that's specifically designed to keep some people out? What about the gate in front of Pelosi's weekend house? Is St. Nancy against all of that? Of course not. Republicans often say the left opposes borders. We've said that many times, but it's not quite true. In their own lives, Democrats are all for exclusivity. They're not in a hurry to resettle refugees on Martha's Vineyard, for example. They just oppose America's borders. America is a sinful nation, they tell us. We can only atone for those sins by giving what we have to the entire world. So there's a lesson here for Republicans. The president got elected by promising a border wall. People wanted that. They voted for him. The president pledged that in almost every speech he gave.
I'm going to build a wall, and it's going to be a real wall, a big wall, a strong wall. Nobody's coming through unless it's legal. Nobody. It's going to be a real wall, not a toy wall like we have right now. Don't worry, folks. We're going to be building the wall.
Well, Paul Ryan never wanted a wall. Pelosi has made it crystal clear that Democrats will never build one. They'd rather have the country fall apart first. In fact, they've already made that decision. America's middle class is dying. The border goes unsecured. The next 3 weeks are the final chance Republicans will have in a long time to keep their promise on the wall. It wouldn't be easy to do it, but it wouldn't be impossible. There's precedent for it. Democrats lost the House in 2010, and in the short window before the Republicans took back the House, in the lame duck period, Barack Obama got quite a few of his priorities into law. Democrats repealed the military's ban on gay service members, affirmed a nuclear treaty with Russia. They even passed Michelle Obama's school lunch bill. So Republicans could fund a wall before turning back the House. They could have done it at any point in the past 2 years. They just don't really want to. Keep that in mind.
When we use phrases like undocumented workers, we convey a message to the American people that their government is not serious about combating illegal immigration, which the American people overwhelmingly oppose. If you don't think it's illegal, you're not going to say it. I think it is illegal and wrong, and we have to change it.
Technology, personnel, physical barriers if necessary.
That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before.
We need to try to incentivize Mexico to do more, and we need to create the environment in which we get people out of the shadows and then give them some earned right to legalization.
We are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years.
If they've committed transgressions of whatever kind, they should be obviously deported.
We will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes.
I think the American people, they appreciate and believe in immigration, but they can't have a situation where you just have 500,000 people pouring over the border without any kind of mechanism to control it.
Open borders. That's a Coke-Brothers proposal. The idea. I mean, that's a right-wing proposal which says essentially there is no United States.
But it would make a lot of the global poor richer, wouldn't it?
And it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state. And I don't think there's any country in the world which believes in that.
Illegal immigration is wrong, plain and simple.
If you believe in a nation state, like a country called the United States or UK or Denmark or any other country, you have an obligation, in my view, to do everything you can to help poor people. What right-wing people in this country would love is an open border policy. Bring in all kinds of people who work for $2 or $3 an hour. That would be great for them. I don't believe in that. I think we have to raise wages in this country. I think we have to do everything we can to create the millions of jobs. You know what youth unemployment in the United States of America today? If you're white, a white kid, high school graduate, 33%, a Hispanic, 36%, African American, 51%. Do you think we should open the borders and bring in a lot of low-wage workers? Or do you think maybe we should try to get jobs for those kids? So I think from a moral responsibility, we've got to work with the rest of the industrialized world to address the problems of international poverty. But you don't do that by making people in this country even poorer.
I think we can enforce our borders. I think we should enforce our borders. To have a situation where 40% of the babies born on Medicaid in California today are born of illegal immigrants creates a very real problem for the state, which is in deficit.
Look, of course you can enforce the borders.
Let me finish.
I agree.
To have 17% of our prison population at a cost of $300 million a year, the illegal immigrants who come here and commit felonies. That's not what this nation is.
Look, I voted numerous times when I was a senator to spend money to build a barrier to try to prevent illegal immigrants from coming in.
Necessary. We're fencing will do. We're mowing the grass so that people can't be smuggled through the grass. That's.
Last week in Arizona, Marine Corps engineers extended a steel barrier between the United States and Mexico by 2.5 miles. It's all part of a plan to make illegal aliens walk an extra 2.5 miles.
When we use phrases like undocumented workers, we convey a message to the American people that their government is not serious about combating illegal immigration.
Now they like to use the word undocumented because it's more political. I don't use that word. They're illegal immigrants. They came over illegally. Some are wonderful people, and they've been here for a while. They got to go out.
Above all else, the American people want their government to be serious about protecting the public, enforcing the rule of law, and creating a rational system of legal immigration that will proactively fit our needs rather than reactively responding to future waves of illegal immigration.
But we want an immigration policy that's fair, equitable, but that's going to protect our people. What the American people are pleading for is sanity and common sense in our immigration system.
And illegal aliens should not be treated the same as people who entered the U.S. legally.
You cannot obtain legal status or become a citizen of the United States by illegally entering our country.
Think of the children. Won't somebody please think of the children?